going live, sir. Live कर दो? Yes.
There's still a lot of disturbance.
Yes.
So if you can just request everybody to mute themselves before we go live. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We are on live now. We are live now, ma'am. Honorable Miss Justice Hema Kohli, Pune J1, Delhi High Court. All the honorable judges of Delhi High Court, respected former judges of this court, worthy speakers for the day, esteemed senior advocates, distinguished invitees from judicial fraternity, including all the learned principal district and sessions judges and principal judges family court, learned office bearers of all the bar associations and Bar Council of Delhi, senior officers from government, family members of Honorable Mr. Justice A.K Chawla, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to all of you. We have today assembled here to bid virtual farewell to Honorable Mr. Justice A.K Chawla, who is demitting office today after illustrious journey. May I now humbly request Honorable Ms. Justice Hema Kohli ji to commence the reference proceedings with her opening address.
Justice A.K Chawla, my esteemed brother and sister judges, Shri Chetan Sharma, Additional Solicitor General of India, Mr. Ramesh Gupta, Chairman, Bar Council of Delhi, Shri Mohit Mathur, President, Delhi High Court Bar Association, Shri Jatan Singh, Vice President, Delhi High Court Bar Association, Mr. Abhijat, Secretary, Delhi High Court Bar Association, Mr. Rahul Mehra, Standing Counsel, Criminal Government of NCT of Delhi, Shri Ramesh Singh, Standing Counsel, Civil Government of NCT of Delhi, Standing Counsels of the Central and the State Government, Executive Members of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, Office Bearers of the Bar Council of Delhi and District Bar Associations, Senior Advocates, Members of the Bar, Family Members of Justice A.K Chawla, Members of the print and electronic media, esteemed attendees. We have assembled virtually today to bid farewell to our esteemed colleague Justice A.K Chawla, who is demitting office on his superannuation after a distinguished and a fulfilling career. In the absence of Honorable the Chief Justice, Justice D.N. Patel, who had to leave station due to a personal preoccupation, I have the privilege of leading the full court reference on his behalf. Justice Chawla was born on 20th of October 1958 in District Ambala, Haryana. He had completed his schooling from Kendriya Vidyalaya Ambala in the year 1975 and did his graduation in Bachelor's of Science from Gandhi Memorial National College, Ambala. He acquired a degree of law from Kurukshetra University in the year 1982. Justice Chawla had enrolled as an advocate with the Bar Council of Delhi in the year 1982. He practiced in the Delhi High Court and the district courts in different jurisdictions, including civil, company, and labor laws. Justice Chawla started his judicial career on 21st of April 1997 by joining the Delhi Higher Judicial Service, and he served in various capacities, presided over Sessions Court, Civil Court, Special Judge, NDPS, Motor Accidents Claim Tribunal, etc. From 24th of June 2003 to 1st of February 2005, Justice Chawla served as a legal advisor to the premier municipal body of Delhi, New Delhi Municipal Council. He had presided over as Judge in Charge Mediation Cell Karkaduma Courts from 1st November 8 to 2nd November 9. He had also served as a Registrar Secretary General, Arbitration, Delhi High Court. He was appointed as a District and Session Judge, West Tisari Courts on 1st March 2013. And thereafter, on 16th April 2013, he was appointed as the District and Session Judge Headquarters, Tisari Courts. Justice Chawla, while holding the post of District and Session Judge Headquarters, had introduced many administrative reforms to augment the administrative capacity of the district courts. He organized a specialized training and sensitization program to make courtroom practices responsive towards victims of sexual offenses, and also made operational the vulnerable witness deposition complex at the Tisari Court for dealing with cases pertaining to sexual offences and child witnesses. He has played an active role in setting up of a one-stop center in the district court complex, which provide integrated support and assistance to women, to victims of sexual and domestic violence. Justice Chawla has presented a paper before the Delhi Judicial Academy on several issues, and on the basis of the reports and suggestions made by him, a report was prepared for instructions to weed out administrative record and destruction of administrative record in a time-bound manner. A compilation of the nature of duties of officers working in different branches in the district court was also prepared under his direction. Justice Chawla was elevated as a permanent judge of this court on 8th of November 2016. He came to this court with a wide judicial and administrative experience. Justice Chawla has always been willing to take responsibilities beyond judicial work for the growth of the institution. On the administrative side, he has been a part of the Administrative and General Supervision Committee and of several other committees in various capacities, like the member of the Case Flow Management Committee, the Building Maintenance Committee Karkaduma, the Committee on Evening Courts in Subordinate Courts, and to advise on directions of the Supreme Court concerning administration of justice. He was a member of the PIL Committee, as also a member of the committee to consider the working conditions of the ex-employees working on a contract basis in Delhi. Throughout his judicial career, Justice Chawla has delivered number of judgments on various jurisdictions which have immensely contributed to the growth of procedural and substantive law. Justice Chawla has also immensely contributed while sitting in division benches. However, keeping in view the paucity of time, I'm referring to a few decisions which deserve a special mention. In the case of State of Gujarat versus Ashvika Construction and another, the question was whether an injunction order of the court would be covered under the force majeure clause of the Build, Operate, Transfer Agreement in question, and whether the amount of compensation computed by the arbitral tribunal could be set aside under Section 34 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act. Justice Chawla, as a part of the division bench, had declined to interfere with the impugned judgment and held that the relevant clause of the BOT agreement, which specified reduction in the fee due to injunction of any court, was a force majeure event. And the interpretation of the injunction order given by the tribunal, which had resulted in its inability to collect fee for part use, was not only plausible, but was justified and warranted. Thus, the court held that construction of the contract was within the scope and jurisdiction of the arbitral tribunal. In the case of BGP Products Operations GmbH and others versus Union of India and others, the validity of a notification issued by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare prohibiting the manufacture and distribution of oxytocin injection for human use for domestic circulation by a private sector company under Section 26 capital A of the Drug and Cosmetics Act was under challenge. Justice Chawla, as a part of the division bench, had quashed the impugned notification and observed that the maternal welfare and rights of pregnant women and young mothers to have a safe postpartum recovery and for avoidance of fatal risk of hemorrhaging was an integral part of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. It was further held that the state could not perform a balancing act as the availability of oxytocin, which is an essential drug, was far more important to achieve for the welfare of the public than the objective that was sought to be achieved through the subject notification. In the case of North Delhi Municipal Corporation and another versus Rajesh Sharma, the question before the court was as to who is the competent authority to take disciplinary action and to impose penalties on municipal officers and other municipal employees of the corporation under the DMC Act. Justice Chawla, as part of the division bench, had observed that the commissioner has the status of being one of the named authorities under the Act. He was appointed by the central government and he could be removed by the central government. It was held that the commissioner was also vested with the entire executive power for purposes of carrying out inter alia the provisions of the Act. The court also held that the commissioner was the disciplinary authority of the municipal employees and had such competence by virtue of Section 59D of the DMC Act. In the case of Sudhir Mishra versus State and others, Justice Chawla was dealing with an interpretation of Section 97 of the CRPC and had observed that it is a provision in aid rather than a substantive provision, and that it can be invoked by the magistrate himself under Section 190 of the CRPC. He further held that the intent behind Section 97 and such powers vested in the magistrate is quite drastic and cannot be exercised lightly, inasmuch as any unjustifiable and arbitrary use may lead to serious consequences of loss of reputation, emotional pain, suffering, insult, etc., and seriously violate a person's fundamental rights of life and liberty, which undoubtedly would include the right to privacy. He also noticed that Section 97 clearly defined the limitations on its exercise, inasmuch as confinement amounting to an offense is a sine qua non to invoke it, and it cannot be construed to be akin to the habeas corpus action. In Chandrika Prasad Tiwari versus Delhi Bharatiya Chikitsa Parishad and another, the question was whether the pension rules as applicable to employees of the Delhi government would extend to the employees of the Parishad. Justice Chawla held that as per the mandate of Section 1610 of the Delhi Bharatiya Chikitsa Parishad Act, which stipulates that the Parishad shall adopt the Central Civil Services CCS rules mutatis mutandis, provisions made for establishing a provident fund under the Parishad rules by no means could be construed to mean exclusion of any pension scheme, either on the exercise of an option by the employees or otherwise, and that CCS pension rules as were applicable to the employees of the Parishad. He further issued a writ of mandamus to the respondents to take a decision to introduce a pension scheme for the employees of the Parishad from the date to be fixed, and in doing so, the benefit of the pension may be extended to the existing as also to the retired employees as an exception. Justice Chawla has rendered all possible assistance that the institution expects from a judge in discharging his constitutional obligations, and he shall be remembered for his positive support in all our court-related activities, as well as for the discipline he has maintained on and off the bench. Judgments of Justice Chawla are a testimony to his pragmatic approach, and at the same time, he has been adopting a human attitude in dispensing justice to the underprivileged and vulnerable members of the society. Justice Chawla is a sincere, hardworking, and a humane person. As a judge of this court, his contribution to the cause of justice will always be remembered and cherished. He is a complete judge and above all, a fine human being. On a personal note, I have had the privilege to work closely with Justice Chawla in the year 2003-2005 when he was on deputation with the New Delhi Municipal Council as a legal advisor. And at that time, I was the standing counsel for the NDMC in the Delhi High Court. I always found him firm in his opinion and ready to pitch in whenever required. Justice Chawla is parting company with us only as a sitting judge of this court. He shall remain in our hearts as a member of our family. I'm sure that even after his retirement, he would be eager to lend a helping hand whenever this institution would require his services. On this occasion, I extend my best wishes and congratulate all his family members, his wife, Mrs. A.K Chawla, his daughters, Mrs. Aditi Chawla and Mrs. Divya Chawla Anand, his son-in-laws, Mr. Paritosh Chauhan and Mr. Lakshay Anand, and his son, Jayant Chawla. I, on behalf of all my colleagues, wish him good luck in his future pursuits. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies. Request Mr. Chetan Sharma, Learned Additional Solicitor General of India, to please speak on the occasion. Mr. Chetan Sharma, please.
Justice A.K Chawla, Justice Hima Kohli, all honorable judges of the Delhi High Court. Today is a momentous day for any judge who has served the institution for all these decades and is superannuating today. It is both a momentous occasion as well as an emotional occasion as well, not only for him, but for his colleagues and also more so for his family members. Born on the 20th of October 1958 at Ambala, Justice Chawla has been a science graduate, but it was the beckoning of law which brought him to practice in the Delhi High Court. And I do remember that as the special legal officer of the NDMC, I had various occasions to interact with him. Firstly, prima facie, when I saw him, I thought that he neither belonged to Ambala nor belonged to Delhi, but looked a Kashmiri to me. But then slowly I came to know that he was a man who was resolute in his convictions, firm in his opinions, and very careful in the choice of whatever he would put up as a draft or whatever he would pioneer in his duties as the then chief legal officer of the NDMC, and thereafter having presided over many important jurisdictions, he distinguished himself as the presiding officer in the Motor Accident Claim Tribunal. Also, he's a trained mediator under the aegis of the Honorable MCPC of the Supreme Court of India, and has also been the judge in charge of the Delhi Mediation Center, Karkarduma Courts, before being appointed as the Secretary General of the Delhi High Court Arbitration Center. He was elevated to the Honorable Delhi High Court on 8th of November 2016 and is today, on this day, the 20th of October 2020, demitting office after a distinguished career. He has been always seen as a very humane person. His sense of justice always veered, and rightly so, to the underprivileged and the underdog. A general impression is that Justice Chawla is a soft judge and a gentleman. But I can tell you, where it mattered, he put his foot down. And in one of the cases which I took over as ASG, I found him to have imposed the cost of rupees 5 lakhs. So this is a complete judge, as we call it, humane, soft, gentle, but still very firm. Justice Chawla, on my behalf, on behalf of the Central Government Standing Councils and all the standing councils, as also the Union of India, whom I represent, it is my honor and my privilege, and to also say to you and your family that you have done a job well done, and we look forward to having you in sharing your rich experience in whatever capacity that the institution would require of you. Justice Chawla, retirement is always a stepping stone to further avenues, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chetan Sharma. May I now request Mr. Rahul Mehra, Standing Counsel Criminal, Government of NCT of Delhi, to please speak on the occasion. Mr. Mehra, please.
Honorable the Acting Chief Justice for today, Honorable Ms. Justice Hima Kohli, Honorable Companion Judges of this Honorable Court, Honorable Mr. Justice A.K Chawla, Additional Solicitor General of India, Mr. Chetan Sharma, Standing Counsel Civil, Mr. Ramesh Singh, my colleagues and team members on this criminal and civil side, Central Government Standing Councils and other panel advocates, Chairman Bar Council of Delhi, Mr. Ramesh Gupta, and other members of the Bar Council of Delhi, President, Delhi High Court Bar Association, Mr. Mohit Mathur, Vice President, Mr. Jatin Singh, and Secretary, Mr. Abhijat, other executive members of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, revered family members attending this virtual ceremony of Justice A.K Chawla, senior and other members of the bar, friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. While we all continue to carry on with the new normal during the ongoing pandemic, we have once again gathered here this afternoon to bid farewell to Honorable Mr. Justice A.K Chawla, who is demitting office today after rendering distinguished service to this honorable court for about 4 years and this great institution of ours for about 23 years. With the retirement of Justice Chawla, both the bench and the bar of this honorable court will be losing one of its incredibly judicious, highly distinguished, ever smiling, and a supremely affable judge. Justice Chawla has, through his pleasant disposition, simplicity, big heart, efficiency, and intellect, endeared us all. Justice Chawla started his distinguished and successful career as an additional district and session judge in April of 1997. Through sheer hard work, sustained commitment, and sense of purpose, Justice Chawla occupied various positions as a senior judicial officer, from that of an additional district and session judge to district and session judge headquarters in 2013, before his elevation as permanent judge to this honorable court in November 2016. When Justice Chawla came to the criminal side, we in the prosecution branch realized what a citizen's judge he was. Often the prosecutors had the tendency to brief the court on the facts, cutting short the petitioner counsel for presenting their case. Justice Chawla, with his charismatic and characteristic smile, would tell the public prosecutor or my additional standing counsels representing the state, addressing them by their name, "I know you are so hardworking and brilliant, but they have come to this court for relief, so let them also have a say." Despite having thoroughly read the brief, he would let the counsel make out her best case, as he believed that the one coming for justice must be heard to her utmost satisfaction. Allergic to the state high-handedness, Justice Chawla would scrutinize cases for transfer of investigation very carefully and ensure that nothing was amiss. On one occasion, one of my additional standing counsels was marked a strange petition where a lady petitioner had alleged phone tapping through a service provided illegally. The tenor of the petition and the manner of the petition was, who was also in person, provoked the ASC to suggest that there seemed to be some mental health issue with the person concerned. Justice Chawla heard the petitioner carefully and issued notice in the matter demanding a detailed status report. He smiled at the ASC and remarked, "Sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. Never assume without investigation that a complaint is false, because these things do happen." This showed not only the courage and the open nature of Justice Chawla, but his refusal to be prejudiced by the appearance of a mere litigant. On the contempt roster as well, Justice Chawla always ensured immediate payment of maintenance dues and compliance of orders by state and other agencies to facilitate the citizen. Off the bench at social gatherings, Justice Chawla was always immaculately dressed, besides being warm, friendly, and jovial, treating all lawyers, big or small, as special. Sir, talking for myself, I will now be taking up on your the offer that you had given me long back. I don't know if you remember. Since winter season is once again coming, and though it is COVID times, I will sometime real soon definitely take up the offer made by you of teaching me how to wear the stole most appropriately, because you always found it not properly placed. Also, I do hope you would have inspired many amongst your brothers and sisters to sometimes indulge in taking that much needed power nap during the lunch hour, which has not only further added to the glow on your face, but also ensured efficient handling of all the cases. Sir, it is indeed extremely sad for all of us to bid such a warm judge like you a virtual farewell. We would have surely liked to do much more, but if words could make up for the distance forced by COVID, we would say to you, sir, that you are loved and respected by us all and will be missed immensely, not just by lawyers, but by litigants too. with an expression of love and gratitude which flows from each one of us present here virtually today, I, on my behalf and on behalf of the Government of NCT of Delhi and all my other colleagues, take this opportunity to thank Your Lordship for your exemplary service to this great institution and wish Your Lordship the very best for the next innings. At the end, I would like to share a poem which captures this moment of retirement and the feelings surrounding it. Retirement is time to consider with pride the achievements you have worked for and earned, to realize all of the ways you have grown and to treasure the lessons you have learned. Retirement is time to remember so fondly the good times you've had in the past, a time to appreciate people you have known and feel certain those friendships will last. Retirement is time to be fully aware of the promise that life brings your way, to believe in your dreams, to follow your rainbow, to celebrate every new day. So, sir, here's to a life filled with celebration, contentment, and bliss. And at the end, I would just like to take this opportunity to also wish another very distinguished judge, Honorable Mr. Justice Rajiv Shakdar, a very happy birthday, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mehra. May I now request Mr. Ramesh Gupta, Chairman, Bar Council of Delhi, to please speak on the occasion. Mr. Ramesh Gupta, please.
Honorable the Chief Justice Shri D.N. Patel in absentia, Honorable Judge M.S. Hima Kohli and companion judges, Honorable Justice A.K Chawla, Mr. Chetan Sharma and his colleagues, standing councils of NCT, Mr. Mohit Mathur, President, Mr. Jatan Singh, Vice President, Mr. Abhijat, Secretary, Delhi High Court Bar Association and other office bearers of High Court Bar Association, Mr. Rahul Mehra, Standing Counsel Criminal, Government of NCT Delhi, Mr. Ramesh Singh, Standing Counsel Civil, NCT Delhi, family members of Justice Chawla, retired judges of this court, my colleagues at the Bar Council of Delhi, and other family members of Honorable Justice A.K. Mehra, ladies and gentlemen. We all are joining this webinar to bid adieu to Honorable Justice A.K. Chawla. His Lordship was born in Ambala, where he had completed his initial education. He completed his LLB from Kurukshetra University. After his education, His Lordship had practiced in Delhi, both in the Honorable this court as well as district courts, in diverse branches like company law, civil law, labor laws. On 21st April 1997, His Lordship was appointed as Additional District and Session Judge. His Lordship was appointed as District Judge on 6/2/2010. Thereafter, on 8/11/2016, His Lordship was elevated as Permanent Judge of this court. His Lordship is also a trained mediator under the aegis of the Mediation and Conciliation Project Committee of Honorable Supreme Court of India. During his long tenure in office, His Lordship had held various offices, including as a legal advisor, New Delhi Municipal Corporation, as well as Secretary General, Delhi High Court Arbitration Center. As a judge, His Lordship had presided over various courts with different dimensions and in varied spheres of law. His experiences in dispute adjudication is enriching. Justice Chawla has always been courteous to members of the bar, both to the juniors as well as senior members. He has been patient while hearing the arguments presented before him and painstakingly while deciding the issues before him in a fair and judicious manner. His grace and calm while deciding cases endear him to all sections of the bar. The bar will definitely miss His Lordship. In the social jurist case, Justice Chawla dealt with the fundamental right of the students to receive quality education in the context of vacancies of teachers in Directorate of Education, Government of NCT of Delhi. The directions passed by His Lordship will go a long way in achieving quality education to the students. In Tanya India Private Limited, reiterated the law on invocation of bank guarantee. His Lordship held that in a case where the facts do not support grant of an injunction on a bank guarantee, the court cannot direct the party which has encashed the bank guarantee to deposit the amount in the court. The principle that what cannot be done directly cannot be done indirectly was relied upon. In Sudesh Sharma versus Directorate of Education, Justice is a choice of employment, and if the management of a school does not consider a person fit, then Directorate of Education cannot force the school to appoint or reappoint the said person. In Alchemist Healthcare Limited versus Ministry of Corporate Affairs, while dismissing a contempt petition, imposed huge cost to the tune of rupees 5 lakhs as the contempt petition was being filed for ulterior motives, as it sought the statutory authority should not discharge the functions. His Lordship have also spent considerable time and had been party to various judgments on tax as well as appellate side also. In Ramveer versus State, His Lordship held that to make out a case under 307 IPC, prosecution has to establish the ingredients of murder short of death. In the absence of such clear material, no offense could be made out. In Sudhir Mishra versus State, Justice Chawla had quashed certain search warrant issued by the magistrate. His Lordship held that issuance of search warrant in terms of 97-98 of Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 cannot be issued mechanically and without application of mind. There are multiple judgments of Justice Chawla on various and diverse subjects of law. We were extremely fortunate to have Justice Chawla as a member of the bench. His grace and courteousness will always be in our living memory. I would like to quote Lee C. Roston, an American humorist, which truly fits about the personality of Justice Chawla. I think the purpose of life is to be useful, to be responsible, to be compassionate. It is above all to matter, to count, to stand for something, to have made some difference that you have lived at all. Justice Chawla is blessed with the support of a full family. His wife, Srimati Arti Chawla, has been on his side all through and gave him strength. His two daughters, Aditi and Divya, and their spouses, Paritosh and Lakshya, as well as son Jayant, must be truly blessed to have guidance from His Lordship. There are two issues. On this occasion. Firstly, I have to congratulate the Honorable Chief Justice and judges of this Honorable. Your Lordship have been hearing your mannerisms of these difficult times. Your efforts in providing access to justice is unprecedented in these times. All of us agree that same work is in progress and more steps need to be taken to make the same normal as much as it can be. The other issue concerns the bar is that with the laying down of office by Justice Chawla, this Honorable Court will be working of its strength. The vacancy in this Honorable Court is a serious concern. As time progresses and situation under COVID-19 becomes normal, by the time huge backlog of cases will pile up, which would be required to be tackled at war footing. And certainly for this purpose, we will require more members at the bench. I sincerely hope that this is a concern shared by your Lordship as well. I can only beseech that the Honorable Chief Justice and Justice Hima Kohli, Honorable Justice Vipin Sanghi, and also Honorable Justice Siddharth Mridul would consider it humble request from the bar to do the needful. The bar as well as the higher judiciary has enough talent to meet this requirement so that the vacancies at all levels at district courts and this Honorable Court are filled in as early as possible. Although Justice Chawla is 62 years old, he is still young. He has health which few far younger than himself can boast of. He is retiring today from this role. However, he has other roles to fulfill. I, on my behalf and on behalf of my colleagues at the Bar Council, wish my Lord a very happy and healthy life ahead. May you progress further. My Lord, with permission, may I close my reference with a share from Ghazal of Shehzad Ahmad Sahib. Thank you, my Lord.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramesh Gupta ji. May I now request Mr. Mohit Mathur, President Delhi High Court Bar Association, to please speak on the occasion. Mr. Mathur, please.
My Lord, Honorable Justice Hima Kohli, the other Honorable Judges of the High Court of Delhi, Honorable Justice A.K Chawla ji, Mr. Chetan Sharma, Additional Solicitor General of India, Mr. Jatan Singh, Mr. Abhijat, Vice President and Honorary Secretary of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, Mr. Ramesh Gupta, Chairman Bar Council of Delhi, Mr. Rahul Mehra and Mr. Ramesh Singh, Standing Counsels, Government of NCT of Delhi, Judicial Officers of District Court present today, my fellow senior counsels and other members of the bar, friends and family of Honorable Justice Chawla, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's nice to see everyone safe and keeping well. As this roller coaster of a year draws towards its end, we all join each other, albeit virtually, as it is time to say goodbye to yet another cherished member of our High Court family, that is Justice A.K Chawla, who today completes a long and distinguished stint at the bench and superannuates as one of the most gentle and kind judges of this court. During his 4 years with us here at the High Court, Justice Chawla won our hearts and will be remembered as a mentor, role model, and a true elder brother to the members of the Bar Association. His gentle and forgiving demeanor will be missed by one and all. It pains me as a president of the Bar that we must bid you farewell, sir, through video conferencing, as we had to do in the case of Justice Sangeeta Dhingra Sehgal earlier this year. And we cannot fill the Honorable Chief's court with the thunderous round of applause you deserve at this hour, nor have we carried out the tradition of having our tea amongst the members of the bar in the cafeteria. You have left us wanting a proper goodbye, which of course will take place after we are free from the clutches of this Chinese virus. I now take this opportunity and moment to speak of the tremendous career and legacy left behind by Justice Chawla. Justice Chawla has been in active practice before this honorable court as well as various other courts ever since 1982. After a decade and a half as a practitioner in various jurisdictions, he was appointed as the Additional District and Sessions Judge in 1997. He was elevated as a permanent judge of this court on the infamous date of 8th of November 2016, which most of us as counsels always remember, Mitron. Justice Chawla's presided over several rosters and came to be a favorite among counsels of this bar due to his calm and patient approach to every case. I have even troubled my lords at his residence with an urgent petition during vacations. And my lord greeted us with a smile and gave us indulgence in the interest of justice. Though because of a technical reason, my lord could not hear the matter, but he definitely ensured that we could get a hearing on the same date and asked the registry to place it before another bench as early as possible, preferably before the day ended. My lord ensured that the case was speedily transferred and the interest of the petitioner was protected. I will miss his calm and frank manner of explaining not only the demerits of my case, but further letting me know when to stop pressing for the relief, lest I invite a punishing order in return. During his time here, Justice Chawla proved to be kind yet firm. He often would say and try and reason with counsels instead of merely just brushing aside their arguments. I had no occasion to leave his court with a doubt in my mind, as he had never left scope for any further arguments or clarification. I am sure all counsels would second my opinion in this regard. On the criminal roster, Justice Chawla showed his humane side in overruling the wrong convictions of 4 persons charged with robbery and theft, while coming down heavily on a potholed prosecution for failing to sustain the allegations against the appellants. Justice Chawla felt for the masses and would always lend an ear to a good cause. He ensured his orders were fair and adhered to the rule of law. Of course, Honorable Justice Kohli and other speakers before me have said much about my lord's feat at the bench. I'm sure, sir, the collective memories must be overwhelming as you would recall the deluge of cases you have seen in your time here and otherwise, not to forget the sea of counsels who must have appeared before you over these years, some even annoying and incessant like me. That being said, sir, I, on behalf of myself and the Delhi High Court Bar Association, congratulate you for your accomplishments in your finest hour and express our heartfelt gratitude for your years of service and ever welcoming presence in our halls, which we will dearly miss. Justice Chawla leaves a great legacy behind in his son Jayant and daughters Aditi and Divya, along with their spouses. And I'm sure this is a proud moment for all the family members who have joined us today, including RTG, wife of Justice Chawla. I thank you all for gracing this occasion with your presence. I wish you all happiness and good health as you take Justice Chawla home from his last day at work. I also take this moment to wish you, on behalf of all of us, a most blessed birthday in advance to you, Justice Chawla, and pray for eternal sunshine in your next innings, and hope, on behalf of all the members of the Delhi High Court Bar, to see you very soon, sir, so we may give you the goodbye you truly deserve. See you soon, sir, my lord. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohit Mathur. May I now humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice A.K Chawla, sir, to please say a few words on this special occasion and also to share experience of his wonderful and glorious journey so far. Mr. Chawla, sir, please.
Madam Justice Hima Kohli ji, the Pune Jai 1, my esteemed brother and sister judges, Mr. Chetan Sharma, Learned Additional Solicitor General of India, Mr. Rahul Mehra, Standing Counsel Criminal, Government of NCT of Delhi, Shri Ramesh Gupta, Chairman Bar Council of Delhi, Mr. Mohit Mathur, President, Delhi High Court Bar Association, office bearers of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, Presidents, Secretaries of the District Court Bar Associations, senior advocates, members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. At the onset, I must say that I am eternally grateful for the kind words spoken about me, which I shall ever. Today, in office, having spent over 23 years on the bench, I could make with an endeavor to give my best. My career, I would say, is an attribute to some extraordinary people having come in my life who helped me to get on and navigate the difficult terrain, but the noble task of judicial dispensation. I graduated from Kurukshetra University in the year 1982, having done schooling up to higher secondary with Kendriya Vidyalaya number 1 and graduation in BSc non-medical in the year 1978 at Ambala, Kent, Haryana. My life got into turbulence when my father expired and I was 17. My father was in service with railways and my mother a homemaker, the 4 siblings, and her mother didn't have much to fall back financially, but for the family pension. One of my brothers actually left the studies and went away to stay with my maternal uncles who are in business. I, however, continued with my studies with the support of my family members. When I completed graduation, I was desperate to get some employment but would not come in the way early. Thus I decided to join law course from Kurukshetra University at Kurukshetra University, commuting up and down by rail or the bus on daily basis. By the time I had completed the first year of the 3-year course, I got an offer to join an industry located at Parwanu, Himachal Pradesh as quality control inspector. Desperate to go financially independent, I went away and joined there. I worked there for about 1 year, but quit it, as I felt that this path may not fulfill the ambitions I aspire for. Thus, I came back to complete my law course and did so with full support from all my elder brothers, Shri Avinash Chawla, Shri Kavinder Chawla, and Shri Ashwini Chawla. Here, I may only recall during the foregoing period, one of my elder brothers in law had gone to stay with my another Mamaji, late Shri Kartarnath Gambhir ji, who was an illustrious advocate in Punjab and thereafter started a struggling phase of his own practice at Ambala. I, however, chose to shift to Delhi. Coming to Delhi, I got the opportunity to join the law firm of Mr. H.L. Tiku, senior advocate. At that time, Mr. K.S. Katari advocate was his partner. Madam Suman Bagga advocate was already working there. On my joining this office, I would generally assist Mr. Tiku for the High Court and Supreme Court matters. Was a regular visitor to this court for almost 3 years. For about 6 months thereafter, I attended the TCRE courts with Mr. Katari. This first brush of a professional life in my Mr. Tiku's office, which was healthy and the confidence in me, the ball rolling for my future. Mr. Tiku gave me several opportunities to address the court in his matters, having inquired as to what issues I was going to agitate and the law involved at times. It was Mr. Tiku who never introduced we young advocates to anyone, either in the court or when we went for a conference or to any of his clients as juniors, but for referring to us as his younger colleagues. Hats off to you, Tiku sir. I have always remained indebted to you and shall ever do so for the guidance and the love and affection you showered upon me and made me stand on my own legs. I also thank Sumanji for her unstinted support she always extended to me. I decided to start my own independent practice, having spent almost 3.5 years. At this point of time, Justice G.B. Mittal, who at that point of time was a part of the district judiciary and had been a colleague and a friend of my elder brother, extended moral support, and on ad hoc basis with Justice Mittal's younger brother, I started working from a chamber at TCRE and a makeshift office space at Madarsa Road. With the passage of time, we got on the panels of Canara Bank and PNB respectively, and as the work grew, we shifted to a regular office at Filmist. It was all happening as within the family, with being always available for guidance and support as an elder brother. During this period, I came in touch with an exceptional personality who always treats me as his own younger brother, Shri Rakesh Kapoorji, the ex-Registrar General of this court and who demitted office as District and Session Judge Headquarters. Both Justice Mittal and Shri Kapoor Sahab have always showered their blessings on me, and I beseech their blessings in future as well. At some later point of time, I came back to Madrasa Road to start my separate regular office and got married in the year 1986. All this while, however, I remained associated with Mr. Tikku and almost a regular visitor to his office, and that brought me in touch with Mr. B.L. Wali, advocate, besides a few other advocates working for Mr. Tikku. My joining judiciary, I somewhat owe to Mr. Wali. It was Mr. Wali who prompted me to apply for DHJS and got me the application form. Thank you, Wali. I got appointed to DHJS on 21st of April 1997 and worked in diverse jurisdiction and capacities. During this course, I got several opportunities to interact with Justice A.K Sikri, Justice Madan B. Lokur, and Justice Manmohan Sareen. Every interaction with them encouraged me to perform better than before. My elevation as a judge of this court on 8/11/2016 was, however, mired in difficulties for a fault which I owe to myself and none else. I know for myself that sometimes my heart overreaches the mind or it creates some frictions and the difficulties which are otherwise avoidable. In the process, any hurt I would seek to be excused by one and all. Justice Sikri and Justice Sareen, I troubled a lot during the period preceding my elevation to this court. The magnanimity of Justice Sikri and Justice Sareen has no bounds. They always listened to me with much patience and guided me in the right perspective as gurus. I shall remain indebted to both Justice Sikri and Justice Sareen for all times and place on record my deep sense of gratitude for both of them, and that I do so with humility at my command. On the bench of this court, I have spent about 4 years. During this short period, however, this court granted me opportunity to be part of the regular benches headed by senior honorable judges, Justice Indira Banerjee, Justice S. Ravindra Bhatt, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, who are now the judges of the Supreme Court, Justice Hima Kohli, Justice Vipin Sanghi, and on few occasions the division benches headed by Justice Geeta Mittal, Justice G.S. Sistani, Justice S. Muralidhar, Justice Siddharth Mridul, Justice Sanjeev Sachdeva, and Justice Sunil Gaur, who has since demitted the office. I had one thing or the other to learn from them, and I place on record my deepest gratitude for each one of them. The division bench, Justice A.K Chawla and I shared for a few days of a week during summer vacations was an experience which I enjoyed thoroughly. I revere all my seniors and my other brother and sister colleagues without any exception. I may not name them specifically as everyone knows it well. All are dear to me and I hold them in high esteem. I take this opportunity to place on record my expression of gratitude for Justice N.V. Ramana, Justice G. Rohani, Justice Pradeep Nandrajo, and Justice B.D. Ahmed for their contributions in my judicial career. Justice T.S. Thakur, Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaur, Justice Anil Kumar, Justice R.C. Chopra, Justice V.B. Gupta, Justice V.K. Jain, and Justice Ajit Bharyok, who have been inspirational to achieve my goal, command a special mention as I shall ever remain grateful to them for their contributions. Our Chief Justice, Shri Justice D.N. Patel, is leading this court steadfastly and with his experience carries forward the interests of the institution and everyone part of it without inviting any dissent from any corner. His Lordship carries an aura which is full of warmth and exceptionally positive. Thanks indeed, sir, for all the kindness extended. Judge's job is to impart justice, and I am demitting the office today with the fullest satisfaction of having well discharged my such pious responsibility as per the constitutional framework, be it the district courts or this court. Here, I may only recall that throughout my judicial career, I never experienced any confrontation with any bar. This achievement of mine was made possible by the learned members of the bar, and I acknowledge their contribution wholeheartedly and with folded hands. Thank you all the bar members, bar associations, and the office bearers of the past and present. My law researchers, especially MS Nikita Kapoor, MS Khushbu Mittal, and MS Pooja, significantly contributed in my judicial work with their full dedication, and I place on record my appreciation for each of the law researchers. My journey as a lawyer and a judge could not be successful without the unstinted support of my better half, my wife, Aarti. She has always been a pillar of strength for me and has always supported me. Even in those decisions of mine, she had some reservations with. She has really enriched my life. My eldest daughter Aditi, who did law, is married to Mr. Paritosh Chauhan, an advocate working with a law firm at Gurgaon and doing corporate work. I am proud of both of them for their achievements and having learned to live independently. My younger daughter Divya is married to Mr. Lakshayanand, who is in business. They are also growing well, and this January only got blessed with a son, Aviraj. My son Jayan has completed law and joined as a law researcher. He listens to us when convenient to him and has many lessons to teach us. To recall as an instance, as I am not computer savvy, it is him only who enabled me to hold virtual court effectively. I am confident he will be successful in life, treading the right path. I must not forget to remember and thank the officers and the staff attached with my court who worked relentlessly to enable me to perform my duty seamlessly. Mr. Deepak Masant, my PS, MS Babita Haritash, MS Neetu Nair, PS Mr. Avinash Chandra Mishra, Senior PA, Mr. Manmohan Mehra, Assistant Court Master, Mr. Rajinder Kumar, Restorer, Mr. Amit Singh, Restorer, my personal staff, Dhirendra Singh, Rakesh Kumar, Manoj Kumar, Kamal, Kamlesh Patel, Sher Singh, my chauffeur Baljit, my PSOs Sandeep and Gayur, all have always been available to me and extended their full support. Thank you all. Also thankful to the officers and the staff of the registry for the support extended to me and my family members on personal front, beside the assistance for effective functioning of the court. Mr. G.R. Grover, Registrar Protocol, and Mr. Desraj Chaudhary, Deputy Registrar Medical, require a special mention in that regard, as they attended to most of my subjects very efficiently without any demur. MS Anju Chhabra Khurana ji, the Registrar PNP, on her part, well looks after the residence-related affairs quite silently. Thank you all for your support in enabling me to concentrate on my judicial work and discharge my duty more effectively. In the end, I seek to be excused by one and all for any hurt or harm got caused on account of any act attributable to me during the discharge of my judicial functions or on the personal front. I won't do any harm to anyone consciously or with ill will. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lordship. May I now humbly seek permission of Honorable Ms. Justice Hima Kohli ji to please close the reference proceedings.
Yes, please. Thank you.
The proceedings are closed.